DATV, and the Greater Dayton Area League of Women Voters present Meet the Candidates, your chance to learn about the candidates running for office in the November election.
Hello there, I'm Sandy Williams with the Greater Dayton League of Women Voters. I'm here today with candidates running for the office of Brookville Mayor. We have two people running for one open seat for this position. They are Chuck Lettner and Don Schaefer. Unfortunately, Chuck Lettner could not be with us today as he has a prior commitment. So we're going to start our interviews by having the candidate tell us about himself and why he wants to serve in this position as Brookville Mayor. So Don?
Okay. I graduated from Brookville High School in 1960 and became a chiropractor later on and practiced in this area for 55 years plus. And I have both my children graduated from Brookville, and I have 6 grandchildren going through Brookville right now. I've always been involved in the community in one way or another. And during the 70s, I ran for state representative. I felt like I could do more to help the people of my district by doing that. And I feel that every time I run for office. And I've done that for a few times. I ran for county commission of Montgomery County a year ago. And I lost to a very fine lady and a very adequate candidate, Carolyn Rice, and she's now on the commission. I've always had, as a chiropractor, I get all kinds of updates in gossip from the community, but also I know a lot of their problems. And I've always been involved with the public. And I would like to continue to do that on a serious basis by serving as the Brookville Mayor, listening to your problems, and helping to solve them. And that's really why I'm running.
Okay, all right, thank you. We're going to start with the first of our 3 questions here. Many of our local cities in Montgomery and Greene counties were hit with tornadoes over the Memorial Day weekend. Brookville was among the areas hit by these storms. Do you feel that your community had an effective disaster plan to meet the needs of the community? And what are the lessons learned and what could be done differently in the future?
Thank you. Our community probably would receive a first place trophy for what all they have done about this tornado. Our police and fire department, our first responders, our doctors, our neighbors, our friends, all pitched in to help everybody. The churches set up stations to contribute food and water and other things needed, toothpaste, stuff like that. So it was a great effort by our community. I'm proud of Brookville for what all they've done. We didn't have a plan that I know of, but they certainly pitched in and their hearts told them what to do. And I'm proud of them. What was your second question?
What are the lessons learned and what would you do differently?
Yeah. Well, the lessons learned, we ought to prepare for a more adequate response to a tragedy such as checking your insurance. Make sure you've got enough insurance. Right now, we're going through some of that problems. Practice, community of practice on first aid, schools. Our school was hit and our roof removed. and prepare for those type of emergencies where you may not have school for a while, or where we could go for classes. I just think that we will survive.
Okay, thank you. So our second question is on a different topic. In 2017, Ohio had the second highest rate of drug overdose deaths involving opioids in the United States. As mayor, how would you address the opioid issues in your community?
Well, every community is involved, and some of it's due to illegal drugs that come into the community from out of state and out of our country. We are doing all we can to intervene in this. I know we are. I know our police department is very effective in stopping the interstate trade of loaded vehicles. They do a good job like that, and lots of police departments around the area. We should caution the public about taking any kind of opioid relief medication, and our doctors should be trained further on prescribing opioids and putting more warnings on usage of them. I know that early in the opioid crisis, our profession was asked to give a comment on what we could do. And if you realize, still, there are not many chiropractors involved in the opioid crisis. Why? Because we don't prescribe drugs. And yet, we should be on these opioid committees, because what do we practice for our lifetime is pain. Every person that walks in our front door has pain, and we treat that without drugs.
Okay, thank you so much. Mm-hmm. This is our last question.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the city of Dayton experienced a mass shooting in early August. As mayor of your community, how can you or will you prepare for an active shooter at community events such as parades, festivals, and concerts?
It's a tough question, because we know no one has been able to predict or defend an attack. We are getting more awareness of this problem. It's always in the news. Legislators are being requested all the time to make changes in the gun laws. Our governor is currently putting a technique on the market, a bill on the market to increase the type of medications and the type of drugs, and also the type of weapons that are involved in drug shootings. And they're doing a lot on mental health. Probably going to be the best request, the best reaction to opioid crisis is mental health. And his bill also includes some mental health agreements. So.
Okay, thank you so much. In closing, we like to provide our candidate with time for a closing statement. Would you like to?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I close with the wish that Brookville will continue to strive in the success it's had. I want to see our community increase its love quotient, to get together more. I'd like to see a community event, just getting together and talk, and then having a part of that meeting to discuss problems with the community. And in favor of that, and in support of that, I wouldn't mind seeing us to televise our council meetings so they can get out to our people and be more transparent. I know it's expensive, but we should look at different ways to do that. And also practice love, harmony in all your actions.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you for participating today, and best of luck on your campaign. The League of Women Voters encourages all candidates to run an issues-oriented campaign. Our goal is to educate the voting public and strengthen our elective political process. We encourage everyone to vote on Tuesday, November the 5th. The ever-popular League Voters Guide will be available in all libraries and on your doorstep the week of October 14th. Whether you vote early or absentee or at the polls, your opinion matters, and your vote is what makes democracy work. Thank you.